Isn't it fascinating that Prince Harry didn't feel any need, no need whatsoever, to weigh in and deny the fact that his BFF, that odd little propagandist, Omid Scobie, had accused his father, King Charles, and his sister-in-law, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, of being racists. But when Andrew Lowney comes out with a bombshell book about Prince Andrew, which has been serialized over the weekend in the Daily Mail, which describes him as his royal oafishness, sex-obsessed, vulgar, vile bedroom habits, and a Meghan bullying bombshell, all exposed in this devastating book, which included claims that Harry left Prince Andrew with a broken nose, a bloody nose at least, after a fight. Well, all of a sudden, Harry is there to run to his favourites in the media and say, that never happened, it's not true, I'm going to sue. So this was the denial. It's quite an extraordinary denial. Denying the fact that he punched his uncle Prince Andrew so hard that he made his nose bleed. And a spokesperson for the Duke of Sussex told People, no less, I can confirm neither of those things are true. That also includes some very disparaging comments Andrew is reported to have made about Meghan. Prince Harry and Prince Andrew have never had a physical fight, nor did Prince Andrew ever make those comments about the Duchess of Sussex to Prince Harry. But you can imagine the outrage, according to Taz. Pointed out he couldn't correct Omid Scobie on his Endgame book that named the King and Catherine as the royal racists, so Harry was happy for those accusations to remain, despite his father and sister-in-law both battling cancer. Yet some expect Prince William to forgive him. And of course, we're going to get into the details of this book in just a moment. We're also going to talk about this PR fight back from Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, which I think has been pretty unsuccessful over the weekend. We've seen some really awkward beach pictures of Prince Archie published in TMZ with propaganda copy that Goebbels would be proud of about how wonderful Megxit is because of these pictures on the beach. And we've also seen Meghan, can't she just give it a rest, show off her feet. Show off those lovely feet for the relaunch of the As Ever or Was Never wine. But I want to bring in Brittany, editor of the Royal News Network first. Brittany, before we go into the revelations, the allegations contained in this book with Andrew Lowney, really good guy, by the way, very, very good journalist and reporter, very solid guy. He will hopefully be here with us later in the week on Outspoken. Can we just talk about this statement, Brittany? Because to me, it is the statement that is actually the most significant thing here. Because, of course, no denials whatsoever, Brittany, about any of those horrendous allegations from Scobie. Now, of course, we know that's because Harry and Meghan had worked with Scobie. They wanted those allegations out there, but it still feels very significant. And this is the risk that Harry now faces, because if he doesn't deny something in the future, we know that he wants it out there. Big news, Outspoken is now available as a podcast too. So please do subscribe wherever you get yours, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and make sure you rate and review. I'll take 5 stars, if you may.
That is very true, Dan. And when it comes to Harry as well, thinking of this whole scenario, it's all very self-serving to him. He's not caring about the impact to his father or his sister-in-law, the horrendous allegations that Harry's wife made against them. No. It's about this innocuous alleged fight that the two of them had that nobody could probably really prove unless there's like physical evidence somewhere out there. And most likely the situation would have totally blown over. It's completely and utterly ridiculous, actually, I think, from a PR perspective to even respond to this very short little statement about a fight. But yet Harry, who has made through Meghan horrendous allegations against his family, he's perfectly fine with those staying out there. He didn't respond at all. Like, he did try to walk back the racism allegations in his interview with ITV, Tom Bradby, I believe it was. He tried to kind of walk them back and go, oh, no, it was the papers who ran with the racism allegations, particularly the British press, even though it was the American press too. So Harry is perfectly willing to let things that undermine his family stay out there. But when it comes to him, oh, no. He has to fight back. But yet, At this point, he should have learned that no matter what he does, whether he wins or loses, the court is not going to change the court of public opinion when it comes to Harry, and his reputation is still in tatters right now.
Now, in terms of the book's revelations, which Harry has denied, it specifically refers to this passage, Brittany, and let me read it to you. So the day Andrew and Harry came to blows, this is according to Andrew Lowney, in January 2021, the royal family held a summit about Andrew at which it was agreed there was no way back for him because of the reputational damage he was causing the monarchy and his ungracious and ungrateful attitude. Andrew's relationship with his nephews was also a problem. At a family gathering in 2013, Harry and Andrew had got into a heated argument and punches were thrown over something Andrew said behind Harry's back. According to a source close to both men, Harry told him he was a coward not to say it to his face. Harry got the better of Andrew, by all accounts, leaving him with a bloody nose before the fight was broken up. Now, we've had this official denial, Brittany, from Prince Harry. We haven't had an official denial from Prince Andrew. I guess all I would say, and obviously I hope to quiz Andrew Lowney about these allegations and revelations later in the week, but all I would say is that we know Harry has a propensity to go physical with members of his family. I mean, he admitted it in Spare, didn't he? No matter how much he tried to turn the dog bowl incident into William being a bully, it still showed physical altercations. We also know, Brittany, because of Spare, just how often he came to blows with his security guards, bodyguards in the past, people who were meant to be looking after him. So I obviously don't know if this is true or not, but what I would say is that Harry has a track record of lying. There's a lot of reasons why he would lie about this story, because he's trying to get back on side with the royal family. He wants this peace deal to be successful for financial reasons. And there's a lot that backs up the fact that Harry has a real temper that gets out of control very easily.
Yes, and when you actually read it again, it was like so helpful because it reminded me, it sounds like very something Harry would get upset over, that somebody said something behind his back and he wants to go confront them about it. And it could be because Harry has also been known to drink, that he doesn't really remember the altercation. So that's entirely possible as well. So he might deny it, but other people might actually remember it. But at the same time, what's sort of fascinating when you think about is that how much Harry, I think, despises Andrew in a way because he doesn't want to turn into Andrew. And yet, in some ways, he's worse than Andrew. I think Harry was so obsessed and sort of did not like his uncle and was so concerned about what it meant to be the spare. I mean, he made a whole book about being the spare, that it would not be a surprise at all if the two of them came to blows in one way or another over something. And it might have been something very, very trivial because, again, Harry is known to kind of fly off the handle at things, especially during those younger years. And so I could totally see this scenario. Obviously, we don't have any hard evidence at this point, but it's definitely a situation that is completely plausible.
It absolutely is. Now, then the second part, Brittany, of the book that has led to this denial from Harry. Later, Andrew told Harry his marriage to Meghan Markle would not last more than a month and accused his nephew of going bonkers and not doing any due diligence into her past. He openly accused Meghan of being an opportunist and thought she was too old for Harry, adding that his nephew was making the biggest mistake ever. The source said Harry later told William he hated Andrew. According to the same source, the Duke's relationship with William is not much better. There have been tensions between the two men for years, partly occasioned by Andrew being rude about Kate, referring to Catherine. William refers to Andy as, did you know what that was? A rude
I
word.
don't. I was
Starting with
hoping you could
T,
tell me.
ending with R. I couldn't work it out. What do you think it is, Jessie? Tosser. Oh, got
Okay.
it. Sorry. I just asked Jessie, my producer. I was like, traitor? But that's not a swear word. Okay. William refers to Andy.
I wouldn't even think that
as
was a swear word.
tosser. No, exactly. But perhaps not as bad as the vile names his brother Harry uses. Harry has referred to Andy as a poofter, an asshole, I think that is, and a twit.
Mm-hmm.
William has long worked behind the scenes to evict his uncle from Royal Lodge, the home he occupies in Windsor Great Park. He thinks Andrew is abusing the property and his privilege there. The source said he also loathes Sarah, Andrew's ex-wife, and can't wait for the day when his father throws them both out. If Charles doesn't, I guarantee you the first thing William does when he eventually becomes king is to get them evicted. Now, nothing particularly surprised me there, Brittany, even though I think it's beautiful colour and fascinating detail. Of course, there hasn't been love lost between Prince Andrew and his two nephews.
No, definitely not. And when it comes to the Meghan Markle comments, that was basically the comment pretty much everybody in Harry's family was making in all his friend group. Although I'm sure they were probably making it in a much softer way, but they were all questioning her at this point. So for Harry to deny that is a little silly because we know from multiple reports at this point, basically everybody in Harry's life at some point was kind of like, are you sure about her? Do you really know her intentions? Like, you're kind of rushing into this. Like there were a lot of attempted, I think, probably interventions for Harry when it comes to his relationship with Meghan. So for Harry to deny that, at least we know 100% half of that statement by Harry is completely wrong because I'm almost 100% positive. If not Andrew was saying those things, pretty much everybody else in the family was saying those things. But when it comes to William, I 100% see William's obviously disdain for his uncle and why he would want him, particularly out of Royal Lodge. I mean, like they tried to get Andrew to graciously downgrade, which is what most people of Andrew's age do after the kids have left the home and there's too much home to take care of. They get something that's a bit smaller. And so I think Andrew being stubborn about that is going to come back and bite him once William becomes king. And Andrew, from the excerpts we have so far, and it's not a surprise at all, is immensely arrogant and that he can't see that sometimes it's a good way to take the gracious route out is something that he won't do. And I think William will enact his, you could say, revenge at some point, or at least trying to minimize the damage that Andrew has done by sort of officially cutting him out, because Charles doing this half, you could argue a little bit half in, half out thing with Harry and Meghan and Andrew, like not taking them off the website, not trying to strip the titles and various things, leaves a problem that I think William, unfortunately, is going to be the one who has to solve.
Okay, Brittany, then we get the PR stunt, the Sussex PR stunt this weekend. We knew it was coming because there'd been all of this bad news, of course, around the Netflix deal. But this one was odd. And I'm really interested in your take on it, Brittany, because it really, really was odd. The pictures, yes, they're very close, but it appears that maybe they have not been taken by a professional paparazzi, but rather a member of the public who was on the beach, and that then some deal has been done between TMZ and the Sussexes in order to publish them without a huge pushback. Now, the reason I say that is because of the copy of the article, Brittany, and I know you immediately picked up on this as well, and it is just worth reading because it's so insane. So this was how TMZ captioned these pictures. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, surfs up for Archie, family fun in the sun. They're at it again, riding high on life, grinning through it all, and living their best royal rebellion. TMZ got the pics. Harry and Megs hit up Santa Claus Beach in Carpinteria, just outside Santa Barbara on Friday, soaking up the sun and teaching Archie how to catch some waves. 6-year-old Archie is already a little adventurer in the making. He's still in the early stages of surfing, taking after Dad, who's also taken up surfing in California. While little Archie was busy catching waves, Harry and Meghan kept it chill, watching from a distance, chatting with folks on the beach. And here's the key lines, though. This angered me a little bit as a Brit as well, Brittany, I have to be honest. While the UK's summer fades into its usual rainy misery, true, but we don't need you to point it out, TMZ, Harry's clearly loving every bit of the Cali sun, proving the move to the States was the best decision ever. And I mean, Brittany, you wrote about this. Guess the beleaguered couple finally made an appearance. Glad to see they do take their kids out of the house from time to time. But this TMZ article is putting it on a little thick when it comes to Harry loving California and not regretting Meg's satire, maybe. Well, I think, to me, Brittany, it was a deal that was done. And I think Harry and Meghan wanted these pictures out there because, of course, there's been all of the bad publicity from Netflix. But don't you think probably the most significant thing of last week, and I know we spoke about it on last Monday's show, was the fact that it was out there that Harry had gone missing in Africa and had effectively said, I don't want any communication with you for 3 days, or the children. So they had to in some way play happy families. But that TMZ, look, we know TMZ and Harry and Meghan have worked together in the past, but it's like, that was just so ludicrous that I think there had to be some type of deal done.
Yeah, it definitely could be, I think, on Meghan's side for sure, Dan, because it's so overly ridiculous and verbose about how much Harry loves California. And we know Meghan has really tried to push this narrative that Harry is completely happy. Now, I say Meghan because I think it's Meghan, but don't know for sure that he's totally happy there. He has no regrets. He loves every aspect of it. But I mean, I've lived in California. I visited California. One of the last times I was there, I was almost mugged. So I know that California, while it is beautiful, definitely has a lot of issues, and so do they when it comes to their future in the entertainment industry. It's very much up in the air. Netflix is not making any steps, you could say, publicly of telling the world how much of a support and love they have for As Ever, although Meghan's trying to push that. So things are definitely looking tenuous. And I've got to say as well, when it comes to those pictures, what's truly surprising is that for the couple who used to hang all over each other in public forums, they're not doing any of that there. So I think actually this was not taken by a paparazzi. You can tell by the actual quality of the pictures are not that good. I think it was like a cell phone or something, like an iPhone taking those pictures. And it seems like what I've always thought is that the PDA was a little bit of an act, because when they aren't being photographed, they don't seem to feel the need, or know they're being photographed, seem to feel the need to hang all over each other.
But first, we've always associated chocolate with weight gain. But did you know it's actually been shown to help with fat loss? Studies show that cocoa flavonols, the active compounds in high quality cocoa, can support fat metabolism, improve insulin sensitivity, and even help reduce abdominal fat. But you'd have to eat so much chocolate to get those benefits that the sugar and calories would cancel them out, or worse, lead to weight gain, not to mention the heavy metals like lead and cadmium found in many cocoa products. This is why I drink Morning Bean by Verso. It's a rich chocolate blend with all the proven benefits of cocoa without the junk. Every batch is third-party tested for heavy metals, so you're getting pure high flavanol cocoa you can actually feel good about. Instead of caffeine, it uses theobromine, a natural compound in cocoa that delivers all-day energy without overstimulating your nervous system. Plus, its ingredients are shown to support muscle growth and performance, improve metabolism, and provide micronutrients from superfoods and electrolytes to rehydrate and fuel your body. So yes, chocolate can help you lose fat, just not in the candy bar form. Since tanking Morning Bean, I've turned my morning ritual into something that supports my energy, my metabolism, and my goals. So start your day with Morning Bean for research-backed detox, energy, and health. Click the link below or visit morning.ver.so/outspoken and use the code outspoken for 15% off. That's morning.ver.so/outspoken, or just click on the link in the description box below. But now, back to the show. Queer Lips of Truth said, in terms of Archie, this photo is a bit scary for me as it relates to the upbringing of Archie. He cannot even join or be part of a team with regular American kids. He is wearing a different uniform and on the sand separately from them. Harry and Meghan are not raising this child well. Do you think that's unfair?
I mean, I've looked at the video and it's really just a couple of seconds. We don't know the context of anything or why he's wearing a particular different shirt than they are. And so I feel like that's a little bit of a step too far from what we know and understand. We just don't know enough of the context really to draw a definitive conclusion. And I know I've seen other people talk about Archie and his behavior and how, like, well, they get to talk about it because people have talked about Prince Louis and those sorts of things. And I just don't really agree with that philosophy at all. We don't really know anything, but I'm glad at least the kids can go out and hang out with other children, because you got the sense for a long time that they were kept sort of separate. But at the same time, in this very brief picture, Archie is doing something a little different. So you got to wonder, why is he getting preferential treatment? I would not be surprised, because Harry and Meghan insist, I'm sure, that their kids are called a prince and princess and that they sort of abuse that title privilege from the British monarchy at this point. So I'm sure they have bodyguards around and all those sorts of things, making themselves a bit of a nuisance, even though nobody would really care that they're on that beach. But I'm hoping the best for Archie and Lily, but I imagine their home life is rather dysfunctional. I think we could say that.
Rob Shooter, who's doing some great work at the moment, he thought that actually the couple were devastated about these pictures. A source telling him it was supposed to be a peaceful day. Instead, they felt blindsided and exposed because this wasn't a public outing. So you never really know, do you, Brittany? You never really know.
You don't. And I will say, though, having taken a lot of
because
pictures
that could
at
be
royal
spin.
events.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, that could be
spin.
100% spin, because Meghan is sure willing to parade herself around for the paparazzi when it suits her. But I do think that it was sort of clear this was not a professional camera that was used in any capacity. It was probably definitely an iPhone. So I think it was just somebody who saw them and took pictures. And you know what? That's life. If they don't want to have a public profile where people do take unauthorized pictures of them that they don't particularly like, because again, they're not hanging all over each other, and that's part of their public persona as a couple, they can't really get mad because that is the life they've chosen to live. You are going to get attention. You have tried to gain as much attention for yourselves as humanly possible, and this is a price. And if you can't live with it, suck it up and move somewhere else.
Then Brittany, Meghan's feet back at the center of conversation as she decides to launch. I mean, can you believe it? Can you believe thinking after everything that's gone down the past week, thinking, I know what I've got to do. I've got to push forward with releasing some crappy new wine. It's like, take a breath, woman. Sort stuff out. But this is the advertisement that went live last night. And Brittany, you posted, please make the desperate, delusional PR push end. They had one success with Netflix and a bunch of flops, as ever as a joke, and there is no strategy to be seen anywhere. The couple needs to change careers and stop with this nonsense. It's tiresome. I was just quite shocked, Brittany, that she decided to put her feet at the center of this. I mean, you go on, out with the 2023 and in with the 2024 rosé wine. I fail to understand how Meghan expects to build a brand when you can never buy the same product twice, indeed. And she's wildly inconsistent on product timelines, so annoying. Since she desperately needs a success out of this after Netflix, which again doesn't care about as ever at all, she needs to drop the game, stock correctly, and actually have a functional company rather than manage whatever the heck this is. But she's made it clear, Brittany, she's got no intention of doing that, with the fact that she's just pushing on with this release. It's going to be another tiny drop of product, which will inevitably immediately sell out again, causing all of the same turmoil. It's just ludicrous.
It is just so surprising. I don't understand, because she wants to be a billionaire, and there is no billionaire out there who will tell you that, you just don't have a stock of anything for a long time, randomly drop things and people will just gobble it up and you'll be quickly on your way to billionaire status. Like, I don't even think she's making tens of thousands of dollars on these microscopic launches. And I imagine, like, if I was a general customer or consumer, I'd be immensely frustrated that I can never buy the same product twice. Everything sells out in an hour. And so her mildly curious potential customer base is gone at this point. Like, none of them will be interested unless she can actually ramp up production. But like everything Meghan has ever done, is that she always tries to sort of shortcut things. She's shortcutting success here. She's telling everybody, oh, it sells out every single time, rather than stocking correctly and running the risk of, something not selling out, and actually having products that people grow to love, rather than things that people have to sort of try to desperately jump on and grab and then probably never see again. So it's just absolutely, I don't even know what the heck As Ever is as a company. I don't know what it's selling. She's kind of going with whimsy, almost a country vibe now, which is not Meghan. And so it's like, she has no clue who she is. She has no clue what this company is. And she's obviously getting zero direction from Netflix, which again, I think is completely and utterly reflective of the fact that Netflix truly doesn't care. It was some money they threw at her for the business, and that was it. And she keeps trying to wrangle them in as bigger partners than they really are, because especially when it comes to the dangling feet. There's a bit of an issue there that some people have caught on to that could be obviously as well not really a great direction she wants to go as a company. So it's just lots of things going on that are just immensely bad here.
Indeed, it is. And speaking of immensely bad, Brittany, it feels like career-wise, things are not looking up because, as Kinsey Schofield discussed with Maureen Callahan on her show, Newsweek have reported that WME even closer now to pulling the plug. Watch this.
That Meghan Markle is on the verge of being dropped by her agency, William Morris Endeavor. How often are we like, what the heck is William Morris Endeavor doing? What are they doing? Why is everything failing this much? She's supposed to have this team around her of people that are incredibly skilled and know the drill.
Well, this comes on the heels of, I believe it was a few months ago, Page Six broke the news that Ari Emanuel, brother of Rahm Emanuel, who is soft launching a potential run for president, very powerful family, had it with Meghan Markle and was like, she's not on my sheet anymore. She's not on my to-do list. Give her to the lower bottom feeders over here and they can deal with her, the likes of her. You know, she just burns bridges and makes enemies wherever she goes. She was so lucky to have the ear and the help of an Ari Emanuel, and she blew it up. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why they're giving sort of long runways for these inevitable goodbyes. Just issue the humiliation she deserves, you know, say we're done with her. She's got no talent and she's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
I mean, no talent, pain in the ass. I love that from Maureen Callahan. She went like full New Yorker at that moment, Brittany, and I thought that was great. But I think she has a real point. And if WME do walk away now, I mean, surely that's the final nail in the coffin. I mean, Ari Emanuel, we know he's already gone. He's got nothing to do with it.
Exactly. I think when it comes to her future in Hollywood, she has, I think, angered and frustrated so many people because this is a woman who could have been massively successful. I'm not a fan of hers, but I truly believe if she had played her cards right, she could have been a huge megastar in many ways, had a hugely successful company, all these sorts of things. But Meghan Markle constantly snatches victory out of the jaws of defeat, or snatches defeat out of the jaws of victory, because she is so controlling. She cannot take advice. And when she does take it, she never follows it. She makes the wrong decision. When she can make decision A, which is the good one, she makes decision D or F. She always seems to make the wrong call. And I think the big frustration from a professionalism standpoint when it comes to Ari Emanuel and the other people she's worked with is that she is there constantly. They want to help her and she just won't let them help her. And so they just get frustrated after a point because it's like they're trying to give her advice and trying to lead her. And she just never seems to want to take it. And I would guess some of them maybe bent the knee a bit too much when she signed on with them because they're like, you know, she's obviously a duchess or whatever. And so they decide to take a certain stance on that. And what it ended up being is a disaster because she wants to lead everything. She wants to control everything. And this is not her area of expertise. And what she truly should have done is let WME know where she wants to go and then take a step back and just basically follow every single thing they said. But she just can't do it. She just can't do it. And I think people get frustrated with her. I think they get angry with her. She does not treat them well. She treats the staff poorly. WME has experienced that. She would like demand things during holidays. And it's like, everybody's off and Hollywood's quiet. Why are you demanding things? And people would just get frustrated, not to mention the fact what really matters here is talent. And she doesn't have any. And so at some point, they have to wash their hands of her because what can they do with her? She offers no talent and no way forward. And so they have to take the cut, but everybody sort of drags it out. Maureen's right. They just kind of drag out the inevitable when they should just do the Spotify thing and just go, yeah, they were really crappy to work with and we're done.
Are we being a bit mean, Brittany, though, because it's her birthday today? And Narinder Kaur posted, it's hard to believe Meghan Sussex will be 44 years old. Whether you like her or not, you can't deny she looks incredible for her age. Meanwhile, her critics are aging like milk in a heat wave. Thanks, love. Looks like leaving the firm was the real beauty secret. Keep glowing, Meghan. Now, I thought that was really interesting, Brittany. Narinda, one of Meghan's biggest supporters, the only positive thing that she could say about her on her birthday is she looks great. I found that really interesting. Nothing about her character or her spirit or her public good works, just her looks.
Yep, and it goes to show that most of Meghan Markle's fans are probably as shallow, vain, and vapid as she is. Because if the only thing you can talk about is her beauty, and then you can only contrast her, quote unquote, critics by basically saying that they're all ugly or aging like milk toast or whatever, just goes to show as well when it comes to like debating tactics. They can only attack you as a person. They can't actually attack the argument. And the argument is that Meghan has a horribly flawed character from what we've seen. She makes terrible decisions. She breaks apart families. And because of her character, that is why people are judging her, not because of her looks, which I think are not, let's say, I can see sometimes where she is beautiful. And then sometimes I'm like, oh, she's not looking as well that day. But we're all like that. So let's be honest, we're all human. But I think what makes her sort of less likable is the fact that she is not a good person. And that is really what we're judging her by.
Very true. And of course, if you do want first access to our Royal Uncancelled After Show here on Outspoken, then please do sign up to my Substack, www.outspoken.live. Going for the monthly paid membership gives you first access to the Royal Uncancelled After Show every single weekday. You get it first, you get it either live or on demand, and you get it completely advertising free. Substack is a free speech platform. Signing up really supports me and what I'm trying to do. www.outspoken.live. Thank you so much for watching Dan Wootton Outspoken. Please click on my face just to the bottom left to subscribe to this brand new independent news source and turn on the notification bell so you'll be alerted to our brand new live shows, uncancelled interviews, and special royal episodes. Outspoken is also now available as a podcast, so you can listen to the show every weekday on the go, wherever you are.